Take 3 for the doctor speaks, and this is the last time. Either 3 strikes were out or a charm. Exactly why I plan to move to Panama. I do not enjoy a culture that is at this particular phase in the Universe 25 experiment. I share a very sad moment of personal truth. Having lived here in central Vermont since 2018, I still have no one I can easily ask to host a friend. That is so not my culture, yet uber New England. As I inventory, I find many people who are emotionally stressed. It seems as if the emotional stress on potential hosts is proportional to the number of square feet in their homes. Lots of square footage and no hospitality spoons. And in the background, the static of a brave little state whose unhoused population has increased by 900% in the last 3 years, and it crackles static in the air. Hospitality defined, noun. 1. Cordial and generous reception of or disposition towards guests. 2. An instance of cordial and generous treatment of guests. 3. The act or practice of one who is hospitable. Reception and entertainment of strangers or guests without reward or with kind and generous liberality. I shudder to think of the shared root there on that word that locates where we place our humans needing healing. Hospitals? The traveling door to door and asking for a place to rest one's head is not a phenomenon that I have had to cope with much recently. I have had a super comfy, full recliner chair in my 400 square foot studio space for the last 2 years. It was my spot for crashing when I hosted guests who could take my bed. I could host up to 3 other humans, 1 flexible adult and 2 children, pretty comfortably. But last month, the recliner stopped reclining, probably as a result of a glitch in the motor for the footrest part. That glitch, probably a result of the organically safe but super desiccating substances used in the repeated bedbug treatments I have had here for over 8 months. Brief distracting aside, you can enjoy that is off and will be posted in the chat related to this. Good news, I have not seen a bedbug in close to a month, but the trauma load and the culturally induced shame remains heavy. I deeply enjoy savoring where I am, and I remain hopeful and optimistic that this will be my last of Vermont seasons. I hoped to maximize my savor for the spring celebration of All Species Day here at my state capital. In order to do that, I intended to invite friends from out of town. In order to host friends from out of town, I need a place for them to lay their heads. Sadly, it does not look like that is going to happen. I still have 1 or 2 creative ideas up my sleeve. I remember nostalgically the All Species Day that was the last one year of participation for one of the 2 founding mothers. She was diagnosed and living with a terminal cancer diagnosis at that moment. It was also the last time the organizer queered up and racially diversified the pageantry. I wanted more of that, and I wanted to share that positive energy with out-of-state friends. But oh gee, no access to hospitality. I am deeply humbled by the way Spirit thunks me in the third eye. That is a phrase I use to describe the phenomenon of a gentle but necessary readjustment. A spiritual thunk on the third eye is similar to what I did as a new mama, nursing my second-born in their newborn phase. That baby had a very difficult birth experience and arrived angry and frustrated. Each time I would put them to my breast, they would slip down to the tip of the nipple and slide their little gums back and forth in a terribly uncomfortable, grinding way. I followed the advice of the good breastfeeding coaches at La Leche League. I would tap my baby gently on their third eye and they would blink. That's known as the glabellar response. And I popped them off the nipple and we readjusted. Spirit is popping me off the nipple. of trying to get responses that just aren't available. I'm living in the land of the beautiful ones and the cannibals from Universe 25. In the words of Merle Haggard, sung by Patsy Cline, but I'm not Patsy Cline, so I'm going to do my best. My dreams have world tumbled to the ground when our love had let me down. Can't stop burning deep inside. I know your love for me has died. And I am substituting the untying states of America for that romantic love. You get my drift. Please stop the world and let me off. Ashe, ashe, that's what the doctor speaks has to say.